What's up, everybody? Asparago again here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. When we left off the last episode, we redid this hangar control room area to where it fit a little bit more of our catwalk glass motif that we've been kind of adding to the base the last few episodes. Really? Oh, that's weird. It sounded like I hurt myself, but I have 100 health. Odd. I don't know if you guys have been having this or not, but I've also had this little glitch happen here and there, where it almost looks like my character's not walking level. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but see how the stairs are kind of like at a little bit of an angle? At first I was thinking, well, maybe it's just because the base is at an angle or something, but then I was like, well, no, that doesn't really make sense, because it's never done that before. And the last time I was messing around with this, I turned my jetpack on and then just kind of let myself land, and then it seems to go away. Or kind of go away. It's weird. See, like that. You almost stay in whatever angle you were leaning in. It's really weird. It's really, really odd. I'm not sure if that was a byproduct of the new update or not. So if anything looks kind of crooked or something, it's probably because of that. And so, if you're not familiar, the new update added a lot of visual changes to make everything look a little bit nicer. And for the most part, I really think I think it really works. I think it's a cool effect. It made everything a lot more polished, in my opinion. There are a couple of things that I personally am not a big fan of, and I'm hoping eventually we'll be able to turn each one off, because at the moment, if you go into options, under graphics, you can disable the post-processing effects, which is bloom, chromatic aberration, I think, and washes the visor up because there's dirt on the visor by default. So actually, just to give you an example, we'll turn these off and you can see the difference. And in particular, one of the biggest areas I notice is if you look over in the bottom right side of the screen where the corner light is next to our refinery, right over there. I have to move it because it's always around the edge of the screen. If I look straight at it, it won't be there. But for one thing, you'll notice the lights don't have the bloom effect. But the other thing I notice is there's a little bit of a blur. I forget if that's the chromatic stuff or the vignette. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, or if it has to do with the visor or not, but if you watch in this area over here, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, I hope so, but it's basically right next to this, straight out on the right side. You'll notice it gets kind of blurry, and it has that weird, kind of like, almost like looking at something with 3D glasses when it's not 3D. You get that like kind of reddish, red and blue skewing going on around the edges of the screen. I don't know that I'm a big fan of that. I like the bloom and stuff like that, but I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that kind of almost fisheye lens effect around the edge of the screen. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I just hope that eventually they'll make options for each one, so you can turn off the ones you don't like rather than just all or nothing kind of thing. But yeah, overall, I really like the visual changes in general, especially the lighting and the block updates and the stuff like that. I think it made it look a lot more polished up. Basically, it makes everything look a lot better. Now, especially like in this room where you have like a glowing kind of light. Let's see if I can fix this again. See if I can see, like, now it's more straight. I don't know what that's about. I have to assume that it's from the new update, because they did do a couple of things like changed player speeds and stuff. I noticed that in my inspiration series, you run a little bit faster. Anyways, I'm eating up too much time talking about the update. So, in the last episode, I had mentioned, do we want to keep doing this or do other series? I was actually pleasantly surprised by how many was actually like, no, let's keep doing this, it's fine. But encouraged a change in focus, direction, whatever. Like, I keep working on the base, but the base is kind of good to go. For the most part, I can add more storage tanks for gases. I can add more this, that, and other things. But for the most part, it actually is kind of functioning as it should. It's kind of done in terms of just basic survival functionality. Whoop. Need to get all my skins loaded. Hello? Maybe? No? Okay. Just doesn't want to do these two. That makes sense. Why not? So one of the things was to start working on a ship to go into space. Not a bad idea, and I think that's what we're going to go with. Now there's one thing I want to double check and make sure, and that's that my nano machine is set to help others. I believe what that does, if I'm not mistaken, is it will actually let it help build other grids, not just this grid. So if you build a second grid inside the perimeter, aka in this hangar or something to that effect, it'll actually then build that too. So I have a little bit of a dilemma, and that's, do we build it in the hangar so that we know it fits in the hangar, or do we not care about size and we build it out on the upper landing platform and make that an upper landing platform? For the moment, I kind of think I like the latter, just because it gives us a bit more freedom. And eventually I'll probably do smaller fighters and stuff like that in the little hangar bay. But I will preface this with, I know I was doing a Let's Play, or, yeah, I'm doing a Let's Play, by the way, in case you didn't notice. No, I had been doing a Let's Build, is what I meant to say. And I don't really want this to turn into that. I don't really want it to be one of those where what happened, I think it was last season of this, where it ended up turning into, you know, it was like a Let's Build for the back half of the season kind of thing. Ooh, there's new sounds too. I keep forgetting about the new sounds. You know, stuff like that. So I don't really want to do that. But at the same time, I have to build a ship kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is basically, because this is a survival Let's Play, I think I'm going to focus on function over form and just build it to where it works and it's like halfway decent kind of thing. But I'm not going to worry about, oh, I want to design it to look like this, because that is more of a Let's Build. And I just asked that in my last episode of would we want to switch over and just focus on the Let's Build side of things. And since everybody was kind of like, well, yeah, hold on. Where's the rest of my grid? There it is. Whew, that scared me. I was kind of like, hold on. What's going on here? So I'm going to grab... Basically, if the nanite machine is building most of the stuff, I just need the enough basic materials to get the blocks set up. How did I end up with extra solar cell? Anyway, so I'm basically going to load up, I don't even think I need bulletproof glass to build, nor do I need computers. I basically just need, I don't even know if I need construction components, actually. Nothing usually starts with construction components. So let's go ahead and throw these back in here. But yeah, I'm going to get the steel, like interior plates, girders, things that most things start with, and go from there, I think. Alrighty, so we're up here on the top area, and we don't have to necessarily build the ship as small as this platform, but it'll free us up a little bit to be able to build it kind of however far we want. And if you notice anything beyond the regular graphical changes, some of that was because in order to avoid performance, the game now defaults to medium if your settings were different, just to avoid if you couldn't run the high end. It doesn't throw you back into high end and give you a bunch of performance issues. So it sets to medium. So I went through and redid a bunch of my settings, but I don't remember what I had it set for before. So if things look different, that it wasn't just part of the update, then that's probably why. Just as a little heads up there. So the other thing we have to decide is small ship or large ship grid. I think I probably should start with a small grid. Mainly just because while it doesn't afford as much interior stuff, like I said, we're not really going for form and design, so I'm not really concerned about, oh, I need to make an interior and all this kind of stuff. It's basically just going to be cargo space, seats, generators, things that you need, but not really anything else. So I'm thinking small ship would be faster. I could build it quicker. Now, I don't know that it'll go as far, or if it can make it out of the atmosphere. That's the only other thing that I didn't really think about. So maybe I should start with a large. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I might start with small and just see what you guys think, and if everybody tells me it'd be better to do a large grid, then in the next episode I'll start that and I'll move the small one and keep that as like a side project thing for a smaller interplanetary ship. No, that's not right. Not interplanet. Anyways, atmospheric ship. We'll reconvert it to an atmospheric ship. There. Done. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our second hotbar, since our first hotbar is usually just our basic blocks. And let's set it to small blocks so we don't do anything that we can't already do. First of all, I'm going to need a landing gear because that's how I'm going to start this thing. Do I want hydro thruster? I think I'm going to go with ions predominantly. I might add some atmospheric ones just for when you're in the atmosphere. But I'm thinking ion and hydrogen, probably. We're definitely going to want cargo containers. Might as well use the large ones. We're going to need some solar panels. We're going to need batteries. I'll probably have a reactor. Definitely need a cockpit. That's fairly self-explanatory. Oxygen tank, vents, good ideas. Remote control, I'm not really worried about. Like I said, I'm kind of keeping this one a bit more basic, just get it into space kind of thing. I might want to put a nano machine on there. I don't know. It would be easier to repair the ship that way. However, I don't know if I want to. It won't have a drilling thing on there, so I'm not really sure if it'll help it all that much. And the other big thing is the conveyors. I don't know that I want to go. Wait, you can still do the large grid conveyors on here, can't you? Oh, there they are. So I might do bigger conveyors. I'm gonna grab them both just because I'm not sure. But I'm probably thinking, because there's stuff that the larger containers, or I mean the small conveyors can't do, like rockets and bigger volumes and things. And I normally use guns like fixed weapons, but I think this one I'll actually use turrets, I think, so that I don't have to worry about aiming and stuff. Might want to throw some decoys on there, that's later. We'll grab rockets just in case. We'll grab chain guns just to, oh, nope, ran out of room. Alright, let's clear another one. So, like I said, I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to need, but I just usually like setting up what I might want to use. We'll grab the text panels too, just in case we want to display something. I could make this out of heavy armor if this is going to be our... Well, I'll start with it just basic the way that it is, and we'll see where we get. So, you're supposed to be small, and let's turn that off. Can I... Oh, okay, it's attaching to the large grid. Got it. Alright, okay, it does auto-lock. I couldn't remember if it auto-locked or not. Oh! I was like, wait a minute, I haven't built it yet. Totally blanked out for a minute there and forgot that I have a nano system. I was like, what the heck? You know what? I'm going to wait on the other landing gears because I may end up... It'll be easier for one to build onto the same grid rather than trying to align them properly. Alright, now I don't think... I want this to kind of be the nose, however we end up setting this up. What kind of ports do we have here? We have a large one on the bottom, we have two smaller ones on the top. So if we use the larger grid, then I could tie it in like this to I could tie it into the bottom of the... Well, if I can get this to attach anywhere. This can attach on a small grid, right? It said for small ships. I guess I need a container or something. Oh, come on. Suck it up. Medium conveyor. Hold up. Oh, I'm changing it from large to small grid, dummy. Okay. I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? Can you do... Yeah, okay, those aren't available for large ships. Alright, so what I'm thinking is let's do a cargo container somewhere, maybe? Maybe like here? Let's do like that. Whoa, too far, too far, too far. And then what I'll do is we'll run a conveyor like that. And let's see, we could put, if we put this there, that's going to be a little bit in our way. So does this still have, I can't remember if it still has the rings that you could use. I'm not seeing them. In the large grids they have them, but I don't see them here. Let's double check, make sure they didn't remove them entirely. These things. So the conveyor frame... Oh, it does have a small ship one. I wonder why it's not showing up. Weird. Alright. Wait, what the... Alright, so if we put... Let's do 2 there. And what that will let us do is when we put this guy down... I know this is kind of a tall, big ship, so I'm not sure. Like I said, this is function over form. I have no idea how the chassis of this ship, or the hull, is actually going to end up looking. So it will probably look very dumb and very derpy. But that's kind of par for the course. So, you know. And I'm going to leave that open for now, just in case there's some reason we decide we want access to this. I guess... Heck, I could just leave it there as an access point if I wanted to. Like, just so you can access the container from inside the ship, maybe? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much of an interior I'm going to do for this ship. Alright, so we've got the conveyor running there. Now let's streamline our system a little bit. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to use all of the basic... Unless... Oh, I don't have the mods in here that the small ship can do it, do I? Wait, what is this? O2H2 generator. Oh, they changed the name. Okay. So these are the tanks. But I guess they changed the name from oxygen generator. Who knew? Probably all the people that actually read the changelogs. So, oh, I could do a fighter cockpit too. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. This isn't really designed to be a fighter anyway. I guess I need the mods that add the assemblers and refineries and stuff, so we won't have to worry about that, I suppose. Alright, this has one large plug. Oh. Well, that's weird. I just noticed that it has... one small there, one small there, one small there, and then 3... That's a weird way to configure it, but whatever. Really, though, is there any other... No, I guess I need it for... I don't think there's any other reason to plug in the conveyors, then. Let's see what the weapons have. Okay, so the weapons have a large port on those. Obviously, the connectors will as well, so that's something I need to think about. We've got a little bit of room here to work with going down, though I do need to, well, I guess I don't. I was thinking I need to compensate for the hull. Like I don't want to go more than 2, but if I went 2 down, okay. So if I put this down on this level, it would keep it in line with a hull that went and tried to kind of cover up the landing gears, so that's good to know. How about these? Do these have conveyor ports? They don't. They're front-loaded. Okay, actually, Doesn't the small grid have the reloadables? It does. Let's do those instead of those. I don't like those that aren't reloadable. Okay, so those have a large port as well. And it looks like these have a small. Alright, so we could do smalls off of, well, like I said, I wish there was one on this side, because that would actually make more sense. I could flip this, I guess. Let's try that. Where is just my blocks? So let's go ahead and add some ignore blocks here. And this is basically just going to hold all of this together when we dismantle this. Because I want to dismantle it. Okay, that was a major lag spike for some unknown reason. And that did not hold that together at all. My bad. I really thought that the cockpit was attached to that. Apparently, it was not. Whoops. Alright, so let's place this back down. But when we do, let's make sure... I'm trying to figure out how I want this configured. I want one on the bottom. I want two on the side. And one going that way. Okay, so that should work. That should work the way that I want it. Okay, am I off? No, I'm not. Alright, cool. Alright, now... Can I attach... Oh, you know what it probably was? Is I think I had this up one, maybe? Let's find out. Let's do a curve. We'll do this one there, and what did I do with... There it is. Yeah, okay, so if I had done the cockpit right here, then it would have been attached. That's what I messed up. Okay, that makes more sense. I was very confused for a minute there. I was like, why did that not work? But that's why. Alright, so at this point, we can come off of the sides and do that for the chain guns, and we can just go off of the back for everything else. And actually, it's probably smart, I would think. And I'm going to grind these back down, I think, so I can... Oops. A little too much. Basically, so I'm getting the metal back, and I can keep using it for building rather than the nanite machine getting it back. I guess they've changed it to now you can just weld even if there's nothing going on. Interesting. Well, that'll be better for machinimas, I guess. Alright, so for the rest of this conveyor system, I'm thinking a junction here would be a good idea. If it... How many... Okay, so it has... Does it have two sides? It has two sides like that. So we want to go... I guess this way would probably work the best. Because I don't really plan to go up or down with this. At least not right here. And in truth, as we build this, I could actually put the connector right here and then put landing gears elsewhere and move this landing gear, so we don't actually have to leave that there. That's something we could do. Now let's see. Let's put... Alright, what? This has... Let's do... I'm trying to figure out how big I really want this ship to be, is kind of the other thing that I'm thinking about. If I did... I don't think another junction would really be necessary there. Let's just do this. And see. Okay. Don't know what that's about. Wait, does it not have... Okay, that's the... Is that the large grid? That's the large grid. That's the small grid. Alright, there we go. So I guess this way is how you place those. Yeah. So that's pointed the right way. I don't know what that's doing. It's like depressurizing when there's no oh, wait, no, that's wrong. It's like depressurizing when there's no pressure. I really don't get that. No, don't weld it. I said destroy it. Thank you. It's like there's pressure in the conveyor system somehow. I don't get that at all. Sure. Why not? Alright. Now what we could put here on these smaller ones also is the reactors, because the small reactors... I did grab reactors, didn't I? Did I not grab reactors? Shame on me. I did not grab reactors. Well, I always try and put reactors on ships at least for a backup. I also probably would want gyroscopes too. That's probably a good thing. There are large for small ships though. I don't know. Without testing it, I don't know how much power the ship would really need. So for now, I think we're just gonna put 3 smalls as a backup. Primarily, I like using batteries. So I don't really want to rely on reactors, or have to rely on reactors too much. Now for this part, did the turrets on these take large? They have small ports, but I feel like the large one was the only way you could actually load them. If my memory serves, I could be wrong. Again, would not be the first time. Ooh, I actually have an idea for this right here. Let's put another junction, but for this one, let's rotate it to where the smalls are on the side and the larger ports are on the up and down. And the reason being, we might put more weapons this way, or at least up off the top. I think that'll work. That was just an idea I had. So over here, let's do... I don't know if I can turn on mirror mode in survival or not. That would be handy right now. Actually, I just noticed the ports aren't on the back, they're on the side. So I need them to be up higher? Okay. And I'd like to put them somewhere around this area. So maybe what I'll do is do 1 ignore. Actually, that's 2 ignore. That's not what I wanted to do. This one I want to be regular. And we'll take these 2 blocks out. And what I'll actually do here is we'll do a curve. This is not a curve. This is a curve. There we go. So we'll put these here and go up to that one, and then once that's done, we'll take the other off. Yeah, that one. Alright, and I think it was... Okay! Note to self, don't walk over metal tube. It makes you go flying. For some unknown reason. Wait, I painted that wrong. Oh well. I was like, why did it take that one? It's because I painted it the wrong way. Alright. So let's head up here. Throw 1 here, and then... Where did my chain guns go? They're there. So we'll put 1 like that. And in theory, we could actually put like a couple and stack them because their conveyor stacks should line up. But whatever. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and then a curve here. So let's do 2, and then a curve. And what did I do? Just 1? Looks like 1. 1. And chain gun. That should line up, I think. And eventually we'll start covering all this up with hull and stuff. This is just kind of the inner guts. But yeah, so like I said, I'm not really sure if it'll function, or I mean if it'll look any very pretty or not, but we're going more for function than form. So for here, what I'm actually thinking is I might also keep doing these junction type things, but keep flipping them so we get a bit more versatility. Because what I'm thinking of doing here is go out maybe 2. It looks a little bit on the longer side, but I'm okay with that, and then we'll go up 2. I think, yeah, I'll need to go up 2. I think. And when we do that, we should be able to put the turrets like this. And I think that'll be out of the other one's way. I don't think they'll end up shooting each other. Actually, I don't even know if I need to do it this way or not. But we'll keep it this way for design purposes too, anyway. And we'll go ahead and put one on the top. I do also have to think about one on the bottom, or some kind of defense on the bottom, because as it stands, there's no defense for the bottom at the moment. Other than the sides can rotate and point down, but I mean, if they were underneath you, I don't know. You never know with these things. You never know what space pirates are going to do. Alright. Wherever the end of the conveyor system is where I think I'm going to put the oxygen generator, because it has... Where did I put that? This one. It has 2 smaller inputs, which theoretically I could snap here, I guess? But I don't really want to do that. Or here. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I actually need a large input for the oxygen generator. I don't know that I will, other than for ice. If you have to, like, transport ice or something, I probably would need it. So, since it blocks, it only has 1 large and 2 small, wherever I put it, that cap isn't going to be able to go anywhere any further. So I'm thinking of putting it somewhere like further down the line or at the very end. Not really sure. I also need... Gyroscopes don't need connectors. Can small ships do gravity? Spherical gravity... No, they cannot. Okay. Well, they could with a mod, but I don't do that right now. Lights? Corner lights can do small ships. Oh, interiors can do small ships too. Okay, cool. I keep feeling like they used... Am I crazy that they couldn't always do lights, small ships? Or could small ships always do lights? I really thought they couldn't after a while. Now we also have to account for thrusters. I do have thruster damage on at the moment. As you can see, I'm kind of making this triangular... What I'll probably end up doing is make this kind of triangular shape and then do a sharper angle on the back so it makes this kind of like teardrop type shape, probably. And then on the bottom, I'll try and keep it a little more flat with a little bit of an edge on the front, and then the back will have a bit more of a bubble slope. Is kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm picturing in my noggin. But I have to admit, I absolutely adore this nanite system, though. I made more progress on this small ship than I had in a lot of other episodes when you had to weld it all together. Like, I'm sitting here planning and thinking, and it's just building. It's so great. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm out of time for this episode. So I think we're going to leave it at that, and I'll leave it for you guys as feedback before I do more with this ship. Let me know what you guys think of how it's going so far, where you'd like to see it go. And also different purposes or like, you know, estimate power and thruster combinations, because I've really never built too many things in an atmosphere that needed a certain amount of thrust. In space, it was just how fast did it move. if you didn't have enough thrust. In atmospherics, we actually have to have enough thrust to get out of the atmosphere. So, or not crash. You know, that's the other thing. If you don't have enough, you'll fly up and then, or it won't lift off and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. I think we're going to wrap things up here for this episode. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.